Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Hi! How's everybody doing? Oh, my dogs are about to go ape shit right now, aren't they? How are you guys doing? What is going on? Let's get the... there we go. That's the one. Oh, that is a heavy light. There. All right, let's go ahead and get started on a collective reading, see where my people are at, what I can do to help you. I don't think right now I have my... Let me open this up. Close that out. We're going to keep it cool. We're going to keep it simple today. I'm only going to have like maybe 4 spots open if you guys have questions. But let's get moving. Let's get grooving. How's everybody doing? This is going to be a great opportunity while I get the energy put together. This is going to be a great opportunity for everybody on Twitch. If your Amazon Prime account is not connected, this is a time to get all of that sorted out. I'm going to spend some time on this collective reading. The lighting is making me look weird. I don't like it. I'm not liking this. It's fine. We'll make it work. It's going to be a great time to get your Amazon Prime accounts connected to avoid ads. Friendly reminder, December 1st, I'm going to be dropping a discount code for all of my Twitch subs. It's going to be necessary that you get connected to Discord. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link to Discord as well, so that way you guys have that. If you guys are watching from another platform, I'm over on Twitch right now. I'm going to be dropping the invite to the Discord link. Or the Discord. I'm going to be dropping the invite link to Discord. Everybody's welcome in the general chat for Discord. If you want to get in on the private communities that I do have available, you're going to want to either subscribe to my Twitch channel, join AMA, or join Winner Circle. Okay, if you join Winner Circle, you have access to AMA and Winner Circle channel. Let me get this link going. Okay, I'll drop it down here. Pin it. Perfect. Okay. So for those of you guys that are not on the Discord, I just dropped the link in the chat section here for Twitch. If you guys are on another platform, like I said, you're going to want to jump over to Twitch. If you follow the link in my bio, you'll be able to find on the far right is going to be the Twitch icon. Just click the link. You'll be able to see me go live. You don't have to create an account to watch my live stream on there. But if you do want to interact, making the account is free. So it's, you know, it takes like 2 minutes tops, maybe even a minute. We have a great time over here. So much fun. Let's get connected. If you are open and willing to receive messages from Spirit, all I ask is that you keep an open mind as the messages come through. Let's go ahead and take a nice deep breath in. Oh, and release. Cleansing our energy, charging our energy. Spirit, I ask that you utilize me as a vessel to translate your messages, the messages that are in alignment with the highest good of my collective. Give me the truth. Oh my goodness. Give me the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, please, Spirit. What is the nature of today's messages for my divine collective? What is the nature of today's messages for my divine collective? We are going to be talking about interesting. We're going to talk about the intricacies of people pleasing. Okay, so let's kind of dive into what it is. So this idea of people pleasing, it usually stems at an early place in your life where you are more or less given the responsibility to be emotional support system to your parents, your guardians, or whoever it is that's responsible for taking care of you. So a lot of the times what I see in my clients that struggle with people pleasing is that it stems from inner child wounds that are rooted in there's a lot of negative reinforcement that I see when it comes to people pleasing tendencies. But also being held responsible for managing your parents' emotion, and a lot of times it translates into the divine feminine side of things. So your maternal uh, uh, your relationship with your mom, right? Now, sometimes this can correlate to your relationship with your dad, where you have this sense of obligation to ensure that everything is in order, right? Thank you so much for the gift. Gifting the sub. Oh my god, you gifted 5 subs? Girl, what the fuck? Thank you. Now, the cards that are falling on the table right now, this is actually leaning more towards your relationship with the masculine energy within you. Now, the King of Wands upright is someone confident, right? They're someone who is incredibly passionate about what they do. There is a strong level of determination to overcome any challenges when it comes to the King of Wands. Now, the way that I'm seeing this is that you took pride in being able to solve problems. So this is where we're going to kind of start diving into the intricacies of people pleasing, right? So there's this, a lot of times what I notice in my clients is they have this certain propensity to want to take care of others' needs because, one, there is a need to be needed, and two, they have this ideology that their happiness is rooted in seeing other people happy, right? So it's kind of like that act of servitude almost, but it's blended with people pleasing. Now, the big question is how do I be in a position of service and of healing, but also not fall into the trap of people pleasing? Well, you have to remove emotions out of it. You have to remove your emotions out of it, right? And when it comes to serving the collective, and when it comes to this, you know, belief, philosophy, ideology of healing, there's this aspect of getting very closely emotionally connected to your clients. Why is that? Well, because you see a part of them that a lot of times go unnoticed in their life, and that's what they're looking for. Is they're looking for a sense of connection. They're looking for that sense of being seen, of being heard, right? So when you start to move into this modality of leadership, when you start to move through when you start to become a leader in your community, yes, there are some times where you will feel a sense of connection with your clients, because a lot of what you end up finding out is that your clients are just little versions of you. They're just little versions of you in some timeline of your life. And you have that compassion and that empathy, but where does it become overbearing or overloaded? And this is a lot of the themes that we've been seeing. Go ahead and throw it out, my love.
Okay. You eat it.
No, I'm okay, my love. You can go ahead and throw it out. Okay. Make sure that you put the fork in the sink, please. Thank you. You know, the whole theme for seeing Neptune in Pisces is Neptune is super comfortable in Pisces. It's ruling sign. And a lot of what we see are the daydreams that come with the imagination that Neptune can bring, but also the Piscean energy of illusion, of fantasy, of, you know, this idea. It's a very daydreamy type of sign. Now, this retrograde has been causing you guys to look at things a little bit more rationally. It's been forcing the rose-colored glasses off of things, and the truth of a lot of people's illusions are starting to come to the surface. And what I was saying earlier, you know, in the month, possibly even last month, I was telling you guys, when Saturn goes direct, it's going to trigger a lot of people, because you're going to see how much you have healed, but you're also going to see the parts of yourself that you need to address. And it's not necessarily saying that you have so much left that you have to heal, because I do believe that healing does come to an end. It's just to say that growth is what doesn't end, and that growth mindset. And I was talking to Spirit earlier about the concept of growth mindset, and I was asking Spirit, you know, what is it about growth mindset that people get so confused with? And Spirit said to me, Spirit said, growth mindset is your ability to look at failures as opportunities. And I was kind of, I was trying to follow along here with this ideology and saying, what do you mean by looking at failures as opportunities? They said growth mindset is the ability to be able to see opportunities and challenges. That's growth mindset. When we talk about fear, when we talk about comfort zones, and when we talk about, chasing after what we're passionate about in our mission statements and what it is that we are really called to do in this lifetime, you notice that when you start to fall into your purpose and when you start falling into that alignment, you realize that your comfort zone doesn't exist. This idea of a comfort zone is merely a boundary that tells you you don't actually want the thing that you want. And if we were to look at the laws of physics, for example, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Okay, and it's the same thing when it comes to business, when it comes to your goals, when it comes to your life, is that the greater your purpose, the stronger the challenges. And it's, when you are faced with that pressure of change, of shift, of transformation, of growth, the amount of pressure that you feel is equal to the mass, to the density, to the level of your purpose, the importance of your purpose. So for those of you right now that are feeling the insurmountable weight of growth, the insurmountable weight of needing to change, it is equally proportionate to your purpose in this lifetime. And that's why it's so important. Okay, it's so important to understand that the universe, its entire mission statement, its entire MO, its entire purpose is to expand. It's to expand on what you are currently observing. Okay, so if you are to observe failure as loss, guess what it's going to do? It's going to continue to expand on that philosophy that failure is associated with loss. Okay, and this the connection that I'm trying to make here with this reading, because we still have 4 other cards to analyze here, is bringing it back full circle to this concept of people pleasing. Thank you. This concept of people pleasing. There is this, the reason a lot of the times, I guess I shouldn't say the only reason, but a lot of the reason I see my clients following into the cycle of people pleasing is because they get something out of it, but they're not willing to admit it. Right? So, for example, when it comes to compromising your boundaries with people in your life, there's this certain willingness of kind of letting your boundaries down or letting them cross your boundaries, because there's this sense of satisfaction that you receive when you get a certain response. So if you're, for example, if you're used to receiving, oh, fantastic. If you're used to receiving negative reinforcement in your life, meaning when you were growing up, the only attention that you got was when you did something wrong. Well, guess what? Guess what that's training your mind to do, to either avoid it in extremes. Oh, this smells fantastic. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to use this. Oh, that's fantastic. That scent is phenomenal. Oh man, I can't wait for the new ritual oil that I have coming out. You either do one of 2 extremes as you're moving through this learning curve. One, you're either going to avoid it like the fucking plague, or you're going to find a sense of familiarity that the attention that you're seeking is negative in nature, because one way or another you're getting attention. So you're in the process of working through negative reinforcement. Your brain is doing 2 things. One, it's saying that the attention that you want is negative in nature because it's attention. And if you were to get positive reinforcement, you don't know how to handle it because you're not used to it. So for those of you that struggle with receiving compliments, for example, for those of you that, don't know what to do when someone gives you a compliment or gives you positive feedback, you're waiting for somebody to tell you that you're doing something wrong. That is a subconscious pattern. Okay, that is a subconscious feeling. That is a subconscious cycle. Everything in our life, everything internal and external, can be broken down into systems. It can be broken down into a process. It can be broken down into a formula. And when it works both ways, right? So it's an interchangeable formula where if you are on the product side, right? So if we were to go to my emotional processing formula, there are 2 reactants and then there's a byproduct of that reactant. Well, if there's a byproduct, it means there's a reactant to it. So this is the coexistence of both sides of this fence of people pleasing, where your brain is wired to believe that this attention is what you want, because this is the only thing that you have access to. And this is where Spirit was talking about a little bit further about this concept of growth mindset. And I was, kind of looking into it because I realized the idea of growth mindset itself because I was raised on it. I was raised on looking for opportunities and challenges. I was raised on, wherever there were obstacles, there was still a solution. It's not necessarily finding loopholes in the system, but it's finding ways around challenges. My brain has been wired from since I could walk, to overcome challenges. So this was something that came second nature to me. So kind of dissecting the nature of growth mindset and understanding what it truly means was something that I needed to kind of sit down with spirit and see what I could do to study it a little bit more in its intricacies to help my collective. Because a lot of times when I meet with someone that talks about this concept of growth mindset, it's almost like they embrace challenges with like optimism. And it's like, absolutely, you embrace challenges with optimism. It's, and this concept of wanting to constantly learn more, but what is your intention? Okay, what is your intention with this idea of constantly hitting roadblocks, and where is the balance between learning the hard way and learning from someone else's experience, right? So being a student of the universe has all of the answers, your mentor has all of the fucking answers, right? So where is that line between learning the hard way and just learning from what you're instructed to do? So that's kind of what's popping up here as I'm looking at the King of Wands, is that there is this level of confidence that you have. You know, there's this level of strength and determination. You know, when I see the King of Wands upright, this is somebody that is leading with maturity. This is someone leading with passion. There's someone that's leading with dignity. There's someone that is leading here with this sense of finesse. There's this finesse that the King of Wands has, because it is a card of passion. You know, that we see Aries, we see Leo, we see Sagittarius with this King of Wands. And when we look at the intricate natures of each of these zodiac signs, we see the cardinal sign of leadership, of dominance, of assertion, of stability and reliability. And then we see Leo, which is that pride, that confidence, that knowledge, that willpower. And then we see Sagittarius, which is the student. We see the one that is willing to try new things. We see the one that, you know, even in fact looks for new things. So I see the King of Wands here is where my collective is at as far as your current character position is this position of confidence. You know, I see growth mindset with the King of Wands here, but it was very quickly coupled with the Ace of Cups reversed. So when we see the Cups card, we see water, right? We see emotions. It's not just feelings and feeling your feelings. It's the idea of what it's rooted in and where it's coming from. So the Ace of Cups coming up here reversed is this overpour. It's this emptiness. It's kind of like starting over, right? But it's also talking about this reluctance to receiving something new. Now, the King of Wands, if we look at the King of Wands is not afraid to start something new. So this is kind of where I was, you know, talking to Spirit for that split second that I was staring off into fucking nothing. I was just like, Spirit, what do you mean by this exactly? What do you mean by, you know, the Ace of Cups reverse? Can I get a clarifier for this? And the clarifier that they gave me was the Moon reverse, which is Cancerian energy popping up here with the depths of one's emotions. So now we're looking at the nature of Cancer, right? So if we were to look at astrology, it's opposite, right? It's ally, if you will, is Capricorn. So the reason why Cancers do what they do is actually rooted in the position and structure of Capricorn. It's looking for a sense of security and reliability. I have never known a Cancer to open up their heart to something that they didn't trust, right? And there's also this feeling of seclusion when it comes to being vulnerable, especially with Cancer placements, is that, you know, they have so much love to give and they are an all or nothing type of zodiac sign. Why is that? Well, because why they're doing it is that Capricorn energy is this idea of providing, of stability, of structure. Cancers by nature, they want to provide, they want to give love, they want to provide a sense of security, emotional security, and that reliability. So when I'm seeing the Moon reverse and the Ace of Cups reverse, there is an impasse here. There's this impasse of either feeling the connection of the things that you want, or there is this realization that you have been giving too much of yourself into something and not realizing it. So then I have the Ace of Swords upright met with the Two of Swords. So there is progression here, but the progression is leading to anxiousness. So there's this overthinking. So what I'm getting from this ultimately is there's an overstimulation of emotions. But you're leading with confidence despite it. However, I am translating this as manifestations. Okay, so you guys are manifesting something. Actually, that's Connor's. It's gonna go in Connor's room. The King of Wands is someone on the outside, like this is how they're being perceived, as someone confident, but deep down there's some crazy shit going on emotionally. So let me go ahead and ask you guys something super duper quick. Exactly, Ashley, the spaghetti bowl for sure. Let me ask you guys something super quick. Your manifestations, how many of you guys are doing your affirmations? Like, we're gonna break this down like super quick. Just show me, like, you give me an emoji or show me a hand. How many of you guys are doing your affirmations religiously? Perfect. Okay, great. How many of you guys that are doing your affirmations regularly believe what you say? Keep your hands up. How many of you guys doing your affirmations on a regular basis believe what you say? Perfect. Okay. With your affirmations, how many of you guys have days where you struggle with believing your affirmations? Meaning, you are reciting your affirmations during times of tribulation, of challenges, of struggle. So when shit hits the fan, how many of you guys believe your affirmations at that point? Notice all of my AMA girlies. All of my AMA girlies here, they're like, oh no, we figured it out. That's what I'm kind of getting here with this, because the divine masculine is very much reliant on logic and reasoning, right? Which is why we're seeing these swords here. So there is this certainty, there is this truth, there is this knowing on the things that you are speaking because your actions are following suit with it, right? King of Wands. Okay, there is this certainty, there is this truth because you are taking action after the affirmation. So that is that massive action that you take. The anxiousness that you're feeling, right? Because the moon reverse does talk about clarity, especially with the truth popping up here. But the truth of the matter of what's coming up here is that there are times, especially when you feel like you're stuck at this crossroads, where you're, stuck in the patterns of overthinking, stuck in the patterns of anxiousness, not knowing what decision to make. It's kind of like that analysis paralysis, right? The emotional defeat that you feel. Okay, so let me tap into this a little bit further for my collective here, with this Ace of Cups reversed and this Two of Swords upright. Let me get some insight on this. Yeah, so here we go. It's being clarified by the Two of Pentacles. It's kind of like weighing back and forth a little bit on this idea of manifestations, or not manifestations, this idea of conscious reality and feeling or being delusional, right? So if we were to understand, now AMA girlies, you are exempt from this question. You guys, otherwise you guys will be cheating. I'm just kidding. You can answer. If you know the answer, go ahead and answer it. Let me ask you something. I want you to name just one of the basic principles in chapter 1. Okay? I want you to name just one principle that proves delusion does not exist. In the realm of manifestation, what is one principle that disproves the concept of delusion, and why? There you go. Both exist at the same time. Fantastic. Honestly, you could have picked any 7. Any of the 7. Any of the 7 would prove that delusion does not exist. Why is that? Because the projection of your current reality, what you are observing, is just a reflection of what you consistently feed yourself. Okay? So if you consistently feed yourself your affirmations, guess what you're going to start observing? right? And what you are observing is what you're constantly feeding yourself, because the position that you're in right now today is the result, it is the byproduct of consistent actions that you've taken 3 years ago. So your consistent ideologies, belief systems, and practices is manifesting in the current time here and right now. In the same token that everything you are consistently moving through, acting on, and believing is going to reflect 3 years from now. So guess what that means? Past, present, and future coexist at the same time. The shape of your future is completely reliant on actions that you're taking here and right now. Why is it that psychics are able to predict timelines? Because we analyze what you're currently doing. We analyze what your current actions are, what your current consistent energy is at, right? Because when we do an energy assessment, what are we asking for? We're asking for the consistency of what your energy is projecting. And we analyze the positioning of that conscious energy. Okay? So we're back and forth on something. You guys are kind of weighing back and forth on something that you think you want or don't want. Let's find out a little bit more about this. Spirit, can you give me some insight of what my collective needs? Or actually, give me some insight on what this back and forth is with my collective. What is this back and forth with my collective, Spirit? Okay, so manifestation. The Magician. We got progression here, 6, 7, and 10. Okay, we got the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so there's a decision that weighs heavy on your heart. Weighs heavy on your mind, actually, if we were to go back on it. But I do believe that the misalignment of your heart and your mind is what's actually carrying, is actually the emotional weight that you are carrying. Okay, so there's a misalignment of ideas and feelings of said ideas and vice versa. What are my collective's expectations? Okay. And how many of you guys are struggling with a relationship right now? Because of lack of trust. Lack of trust within yourself, lack of trust within the person, lack of trust in the foundation of the relationship. This can be romantic, this can be platonic. Okay, so here's what's coming up with this. Spirit is asking you to take a look at the macrocosm of this karmic cycle, meaning take a look at the generations before you and how they navigated relationships. Because it's this karmic cycle that you're dealing with. Yes, you guys have past lives together. Yes, you guys have lessons left. Yes, you guys have all of these things that you can do together. Yes, you can manifest a healthy, beautiful, wonderful, productive relationship. Absolutely. But Spirit is saying this is much bigger than you realize. Spirit is saying that this is generational with your ancestral lineage. Take a look at the patterns of relationships with your family. What consistent, what congruent pattern has your ancestors before you relayed to you about partnerships and relationships? This is what needs to be healed. So this is possibly this idea of forgiveness, possibly this idea of resentment, possibly this idea of overcoming challenges, possibly even the idea of ending something you know is not good for you. kind of what I'm seeing here is this idea of kind of laying the emotional burdens down. Okay. So there's something here about a desire to have a cohesive family dynamic, relationship. I'm seeing large community scale, right? So wanting to have both sides of the family be in a harmonious, union, if you will. So if you're looking at, it's not just about you and your partner. You want both of your guys' families to get along too. Okay, so there may be even some family dynamic challenges on both sides of your guys' family. So it's not even about, if you guys get together, you guys will be, living kumbaya, happy life, happy wife, happy life type of thing. It's looking at like the whole family dynamic as a whole. Is your family going to be welcoming of them? Is their family going to be welcoming of you? What kind of dynamic are we walking into? What kind of family background are you looking at? It's not even just about the person that you're in love with, is where do they come from? Is that something that you're willing to work with? Now, love makes us do all kinds of things, right? So, the amount of love that you have in your heart for this person, where you're looking at me like, obviously I'm going to, Britt. Like, obviously I'm going to go thick and thin, through thick and thin with this person. Obviously those challenges are nothing because I come from a dysfunctional family. I know how to handle this shit. It's like, okay, you know how to, but does it mean that you should? Now, I'm not saying that you need to dump this person by any means. I'm not saying that you need to let go of the dream and the fantasy, but what I am saying is that with your manifestation of healing the dynamic of your relationship with this person, look at the butterfly effect. Look at the butterfly effect. Because if your healing heals them, and their healing heals you, then we're starting to now heal generational trauma. Now we're looking at healing generations of relationship wounds. There is something unorthodox about the nature of this relationship, but there's something that needs to be done differently. That's kind of what I'm getting from this spread, is that there's something that needs to be done outside of tradition. There's something that needs to be done that breaks away from this mold. But identifying the mold first is what needs to be assessed. So what is this mold exactly? Well, this mold could be stay in the relationship for the kids. This mold could be, you just have to deal with it. You just have to compromise yourself and deal with the nature of whatever this is because I did it. And so the breaking the mold for you would be, absolutely fucking not. I wish you had left my father when, I was 2. That would have been fucking sick. It could also be the other complete different side of this is looking at a dysfunctional co-parenting relationship and just being like, look, you guys are being petty as fuck. You guys still love each other. Why can't you guys both go to therapy and work this shit out? Because both of those dynamics exist. So it's kind of like looking at the nature of this relationship. Are you guys being petty as fuck because both of you guys want to be right? And do you guys need to come into union and set the bullshit aside and work on this together? Right? So it's kind of like, it's entirely dependent on your personal situation, but I'm seeing 2 sides of this coin. And all of the cards here are talking about fate and love and harmony and new beginnings and letting go of the past and no longer having resentment and blah, 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 blah. So, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know what your personal situation is. Let's take a look at readings that I have, shall we? Darnisha. What's going on, girl? Are you on the TikTok side of things? One question, get no seen? Sure. Love is for the way you look at me. Thanks for resubbing. What's going on, girl? Let's do a love reading. One question, get no C. Let's see what's going on in your love life. I asked my collective earlier when I was on live. I said, you know, any gentleman that may or may not be watching, what is one thing you want your girl to know about you or understand about you? What is one thing you want your girl to understand about you? And then I asked my ladies, I said, what is one thing that you wish or you want your man to understand about you? So on both sides of the coin. Gentlemen, what is something you want your partner to understand about you? Ladies, what is something you want your partner to understand about you? What's going on, everybody? How are you? Welcome. Okay, let's go ahead and connect with Darnisha, please. We're looking for love. What is manifesting in her love life? What is manifesting in Darnisha's love life, Spirit? What is manifesting in Darnisha's love life? Card split is the Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. This combination exactly is indicative of an engagement. So a proposal of some sort. Taking a relationship to the next level. I'm getting Six of Cups popping up here as well. So this could be a past life connection that you're about to come up on. It's giving very much meeting your person. This is very much porch person energy. This is very much love it. Oh, would you look at that? 10 of Cups and the 5 of Wands card split too. I'm getting very much like needle in a haystack type of situation. Complete transformation. This is something that is definitely unexpected with the Death card popping up here. So I know you went through a major transformation in your life where you close out some significant, very challenging cycles. I do believe that this is giving birth to something absolutely incredible. Let's get some cards up in here, Spirit. Yeah, you have someone coming in here now. So you've made space for new love. You've made space for... Yep. Okay, so something didn't quite go the way that you planned it or expected it to, but this is where the universe steps in. So in the cracks of your expectations is where miracles are born. Okay, so right here with the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Wands and the Strength card, this is somebody incredibly determined. There is unwavering faith. There is unwavering determination to come in and to give you this love. And I do believe that it is, you know, beautifully designed by the universe. Orchestrated by the universe, this new love. Let me get some new insight on this. Yeah, you've broken a lot of karmic cycles here with the Devil card popping up here reversed. King of Pentacles, baby. I know that's right. And the Sun card, someone that is willing to stand 10 toes down for you, someone that is willing to fight for you, someone that is willing, someone that definitely stands out from the crowd. This is going to be somebody that catches you off guard, to be honest. This is going to be somebody that you have been... Yeah, this feels very effortless, to be honest. This energy feels very effortless. There's a lot of work that comes up here. Yeah, as soon as you let go, there's something that you're holding on to that you need to let go of. Let me find out what that is. What you need to let go of is... So the law of detachment for you is going to be letting go of the idea of a perfect moment. Because this person is going to catch you... It's not necessarily in an unfavorable moment, but to me it looks like, you know, you had to run to the grocery store super quick, so you didn't do your hair or your makeup and you run into them. And that's kind of, you know, and I'm not saying that you need to like be on your A game 24/7, but what I am saying is that when you know, you have this dream of how this manifests. You have this like daydream of like you running into your person. It's giving very like meet cute Hallmark moment type of like divine masculine that comes in and just takes what he wants kind of thing. To me, it's the High Priestess reversed with the Seven of Cups reversed, ironically, is kind of coming up like It's just wanting to know how he comes around. Like you want to know where it's going to be. You want to know how it's going to be. You want to know if it's going to be everything that you dreamed of. And the universe is saying, oh, it's going to be better. It's going to be so much better. Let me go ahead and see if I can get any more insight from them as far as like when, where, how. Now you can also assess your natal chart. Your Jupiter placement will tell you the profession that they're in. And your Mercury placement will tell you where and how you'll meet them. Okay. So the house that your Jupiter placement is in will tell you their profession. Jupiter placement, the zodiac sign that it's in will tell you prominent or more compatible zodiac sign, like possibly like his big three. It'll give you insight to their big three. So for example, let's say your Jupiter is in Sagittarius in the 9th house. So, you know, if their big three signs are probably going to be Sag. So, you know, sun, moon, rising. But you will meet them somewhere away from home, or it'll be like at an educational institution. So you might meet them in college, you might meet them at a vocational school, trade school, you might meet them at a certification course, you might meet them traveling, or maybe even just like a road trip. It's going to be something out of your element or something outside your comfort zone. Now I have this feeling here that this is somebody who is competing for your attention. So you're going to there's going to be a moment in your life where, or a situation in your life that you could currently be in right now where you're deflecting romantic offers at this time, only because you're focusing on yourself. You're doing a lot of healing and self-reflection. So your energy subconsciously could be kind of like pushing love away right now. But I do see that when you let your walls down a little bit more and let the universe integrate itself into your life, love is going to hit you like a ton of fucking bricks, which is going to be great for you. Jupiter placement is going to, so the house that the Jupiter placement is in is going to tell you what their profession is, and the zodiac sign is going to tell you what their zodiac sign is. So like their personality traits, their character traits and personality traits. Your Mercury is going to tell you where and how you meet them. Yeah, I think so. My Jupiter's in Scorpio in my first house. So my person's gonna have Scorpio placements, or like my soul aligned person is gonna have Sun, Moon, Rising, Scorpio somewhere in their chart. And then the first house is self and identity, so it's gonna be in environments where they're taking care of themselves, or like it's like the gym, or out, whatever self-care needs, or anything self-revolving. Self-development. Mm-hmm. Sweet. Gorgeous. But of course. 11th house, Cancer, Jupiter. Okay, so Cancerian placements are probably going to be a little bit more prominent for you. 11th house is humanitarianism, so that's going to be in your community. That's probably why the 5 of Wands kept popping up, because it's someone that's in your community already. So this is going to be met through like mutual friends. This could be like community events, so you could come across them at like a party or like some type of gathering, get together, but this is going to be someone relatively close to you already, which makes a whole lot of fucking sense because I kept getting community cards. As far as timing is concerned, hearing March for some reason, so I need time between now and March. This card keeps coming up for you. Alrighty. Questions, comments, concerns, epiphanies. Twitch, do you guys want to do... I'm trying to think a little something something for my Twitch followers. No, thank you, she said. Let's do something for my Twitch followers before I skedaddle. We do want to do something. I'm thinking. Yes, we wanted. I'm like thinking of what we could do over here. Whatever it is. I'm thinking we should... How many people do we have active on this live? So over here on Twitch. Let's do a challenge. What goals do we have here? We've got sub goals. We got follower goals. Okay. Follower goals. We're 8 followers away from reaching the next follower goal. If we can get... How about we'll do this? Just because I'm going to need people outside of Twitch to come in and watch, to follow the live stream to get the zodiac sign readings. So I'll do elemental readings, or I'll do a closeout collective reading. Hi! Let's get to 10,000 bits. 10,000 bits, and I will do... Do you guys want a zodiac, like an elemental reading? So earth signs, like I can do an astro assessment. I can also do... I can do another collective. You guys can pick the subject. A class. A yes or no today? Absolutely. When did you book your yes or no? Was that tomorrow? Yeah, let me get your yes or no right now. So that term between any EMDR, past life regression, quantum hypnosis, and next service. Oh, sister. Past life regression. Start with that first and then do EMDR. You got the High Priestess for the quantum hypnosis. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's another thing too. Actually, I think we're probably... Would you do one card? Yeah, sure. Yeah, so for everybody on Twitch, I can do a single card pull for you guys. We'll have to get to... Let's get to our viewer attack bit goal. Let's do the viewer attack bit goal because I think it's also connected to the overall bit goal that we have. Hi! Hello! Yeah, so I'll do a single card pull for everybody on Twitch if we can get to our viewer attack bit goal. So I think we're at 4150 out of 5,000. So we just need, what, like 850? 850 bits, and I'll do single card pulls. We can also do an open Q&A if you guys have questions. We can do like how would I phrase it? Like an open Q&A. You can ask anything that you want. Which one would you want to do? Single card pulls or ask? I guess it's kind of the same thing. You can probably do one or the other. So if you want a single card pull, You can do I'll do a single card pull, or you can ask me a question. You guys are going to get there quick. I do. It's just on Twitch. They're not a big fan of mainstream music. They gave me a slap on the wrist for playing mainstream music on their platform. They've been really nice. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I can probably do like meditation music. But usually I can only live stream with mainstream music on TikTok because they don't give a fuck.
Happy Halloween!
I'm kind of curious. I want to see if I can... Let me take a look at... I think it's going to be over here. I'm going to have to look on Twitch. I think under extensions, I think. Oh, there she is. Okay, so I think I can change her back.
Money.
Okay, I can. I can. We can get my Lily back. Look. Oh, I have to pay for it. No. Wait. Oh, wait. No, 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 no. Hold on. Okay, I didn't. Okay, so I paid for it in credits. But our Lily's back. I only have one credit left, though. Okay, Lily's back. I love the crown, too. The crown, though, we earned when someone had her battle another dragon, and she won. So I think every time you guys feed her, her experience level goes up, and you can just use channel points to increase her experience points. And then you can battle her. I wonder what would happen if we won another battle.
Oh, you gotta give it that hawk.
Yeah, see? So, okay, so plus 10 health points and experience points. I'm here for it. Oh, it's happening, guys. Yes! We won! Oh, nothing changed. I wonder... We're over on Twitch right now. We're playing. We're battling our mascot. Our dragon Lily is our Twitch mascot. And I have a community challenge. If they can reach the 500 bits, the viewer attack goal here, I'm going to be doing single card polls or taking questions. And you can ask me anything. You fed her some cookies? Yum! She loves cookies. She loves tacos and she loves cookies. 450 more. 450 more. So if you guys select the tomato, we need 450 more points. You're okay. So if you click the tomato, it's going to give you an option of something that you can throw at me. So if you see the tomato on your guys' screen, it's the viewer attack. You can pick an item and it requires bits. And I think it's like $2 for, I don't know, however many bits, like 200 bits or something like that. And then you pick the item and then you have to tap the screen and it'll throw the item. See there? It'll throw the item. So do you see, Nikki? Now the alignment of the screen is a little bit off, so I'm not sure how and or where it's gonna end up. What did the battle do? The battle didn't do anything. We got more experience points though. We did get more experience points. And I was able to get Lily back. So I was able to edit. I was able to edit Lily to get her original skin back. Because someone had her mate with somebody else again. She looked angry. I was hoping for like a gold chain or something. Who was that? Sam, was that you? It was not me. All right, let me see here.
Mass attack starts in 5, 4.
Oh, you guys
3,
did it.
2, 1.
All right, so
Mass attack.
you guys have 60 seconds. So all items are free. Everything, so if you guys click the tomato, you guys can pick things to throw. She's super focused. Okay, guys.
Happy birthday!
Okay. Alrighty, guys. So let's go ahead and begin. We'll start off with Tiandra. Would you like a card, or do you have a question that you'd like to ask? If you guys would like a single card pull, or if you want to ask the question, go ahead and get the queue started in the comment section. Just drop an emoji or just say me. Pick a card. Sounds good. I'm going to switch decks for you, actually. I want to use... I'm going to use Twin... No, I don't want to use Twin Oracle. I kind of want to use... I'm gonna do Queen of the Moon Oracle for you. Alright, one card for Tiandra, please. Your card is the Dark Moon. It's a new moon. Card number 1. It's the first card of the deck, and it's the Void. So let's read what it says. It says... Your time to rest and reset is here. Release all that does not serve you. Stop resisting. The void is a time of possibility, not just darkness. There is nothing to fear in letting go of negative patterns and habits, so let go of the old. While the full moon, the full attractive power, gets all the publicity, the dark moon, which offers the infinite possibilities of a clean slate, is just as powerful in its own way. The dark moon often looks like it's just a darker piece of the night sky, and in some cultures the way it appears harkens back to the idea of the void. It is a place of unknowable secrets, a state of everything and nothing, or a place to prepare or rest before moving on. To me personally, there is a relieving, restful quality about this darkest moon that allows pondering and decisions about what we can jet set on before making fresh plans for the new moon, which is the next day. If you find yourself resisting the dark moon, it's usually a clear sign that you're being stubborn about letting go of something that is old and not serving you in a positive way any longer. Often that is a fear or pattern that was created to protect you in some way. However, now it's outdated, yet you are still carrying it or acting it out. Know that this moon is powerful, but it's also incredibly gentle in the way It helps you unravel what actually is so you can embrace the fresh start of tomorrow. Relax, reframe, and think about how much better your life will be without that bad habit, fear, or pattern. Get very clear about the possibilities of this transformation and what it will give you in real terms. This is the power of the dark moon. It is the optimum time in the cycle to release the old and cut the cords of relationships and traumas that deserve no time and attention in your present. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay, let's go ahead and put this deck back. Let's go ahead and get a card for... Is Tiffany in here? Did Tiffany not? I'm seeing who gifted. I'm going to get those who gifted first. Is Sam in here? I have... There you are. I wanted to make sure that... Did you want a card or no? I'm going to pull from the Wild Unknown for you. And then I'll get Sam after. So this is for Tiff. One card for Tiff. You funny. One card for Tiff. What does Tiffany need to hear? Tiffany needs to hear Spiritus Rector, Benevolent Guide. We like that. Okay, so this is your card, a little bumblebee. We love that. Let me see what this card means. Okay. Oh, how easy it is to doubt the presence of the Spiritus Rector. The alchemist, falling into a moment of forgetfulness, feels alone in the laboratory and begins to doubt their work. Disarray and discontent follow. Who do I listen to? Where do I turn to for guidance? All the while, the benevolent guide hovers close, wanting to be acknowledged, waiting to be heard amidst the noise of the world. It whispers words of kindness and encouragement into the ears of the alchemist. When this card appears, it asks us to recall the guidance we have received at important junctures in our life. That benevolent presence is constant, not conditional. Now it's not the time for struggle or fear. Soften into the gentle humming of the wise bee. You cannot make a wrong choice when the Spiritus Rector is here. Almost like that's what your emailed reading was about. Okay. Let's get Sam. Let's see what Sam needs to hear. Sam, the deck that I'm choosing for you is the Talisman Oracle. Let's see what you need to hear. What does Sam need to hear, Spirit? Sam needs to hear Luna. Luna says... Okay. This card represents the freedom of desire and the illuminated path of the moonlit dreams. The night can the night can bring comfort to let your imagination fly and to show your wild side. In the dark, our subconscious can bring to the surface vivid clues of hidden situation. You can achieve your goals and desires if you pay close attention to the limitations of logic and reasoning. This card can also represent prophetic dreams and the unrealized wild side that calls upon you. Use the Luna card to conjure some moon magic and invoke prophetic dreams, epiphanies, and your imagination. You can also use this card if you're having trouble sleeping. Our bodies are made of 60% water, and we know that moon affects water levels tremendously. Meditate with this card, preferably by gazing out at the moon. The celestial body has the power to induce your subconscious dreams. Try telling her your deepest wishes and aspirations. After you state your wish, say, "And so will it be." Hi, Adam. Yes, everybody is over on Twitch. The party is over here, and we're having so much fun. Okay, let's see. Jenny! Let's get a card for Jenny. Jenny, your deck is... Message from the Guides. Something very to the point for you. Spirit, what does Jenny need to know? Follow the golden rule. This one's your card here. Follow the golden rule. And it says... The message for this card is the cornerstone for anyone choosing to live a mindful life. Anytime it appears in your spread, you will know that a situation is occurring or about to occur in which you need to treat others as you would like to be treated. Putting yourself in someone else's shoes and imagining what advice help you would like if you were in that person is the greatest exercise of empathy there is. From a karmic standpoint, you can never go wrong by following the golden rule. How you treat others can be labeled as right or wrong, but as long as your intention was to do as you'd like to be treated, then there is no culpability on your part. You came with an honest and sincere intention based on the thing you know the best, yourself. Guessing or assuming what actions to take can often lead to misunderstandings. Always think to yourself, if I were that person, what would I like to hear from me? And then Ashley Joan, I have, heyo! Ashley, I have a true emotional oracle here for you. Okay, yours is under pressure. We've got anxiety, decisions, time is running out. This is not a time to overthink things. We're in the age of Aquarius. This is a time to make moves and move with a community. Okay? Joanne. Sorry about that. Joanne. Got it. I'll remember that next time. Hydrate. Okay, now let's see who's next. I'll go up on the list. We will start with Okay, Lola, we'll start with you. Let's see what your tarot card is. Lola's tarot card is... What does Lola need to hear? Lola needs to hear Ace of Wands. You have a new path, opportunity, possibly even some communication coming your direction. And then let's get Bo. Bo's card here is Justice reversed. Sometimes you're meant to be people's karma. Let's just remember that. Okay. Let's do Lavina. What does Lavina need to hear? The Wounded Warrior. It is not your responsibility to fix everybody. Let's focus on self first and your personal needs. Let's do Mochi. One card for Mochi, please. Mochi, your card is the Ace of Cups. This is a new beginning, new path, an offer in love that's coming your direction. I've got Maciek. One card for Jennifer, please. Your card is the Moon. This is a card of fantasy. It's a card of dreaming. It's a card of prophetic dreams. So needing to possibly step into the realm of imagination a little bit more. Let's do Nikki Love. Did we do Nikki Love? Nikki, your card is the Ace of Pentacles. New financial opportunities coming your direction. Let's do Sexy D. One card. Two of Pentacles. I heard shit or get off the pot. So you could be, you know, looking to make a decision, or you may have found balance in your life, but a decision needs to be made because we gotta move forward. Okay. Dylan. I'm gonna be honest, brother. Like, I have no fucking clue how this shit works. That, like, the ad stuff. Someone told me that there were, like, the dumbest ads, like, just the lengthwise. Because the only thing that I see on my side is how long the ads are. And, like, it's like a 2-minute break. But I had no clue how long that shit was. But that's fucking hilarious. Dylan, let's go ahead and get a card for Dylan. Let's get a card for Dylan. Okay, so Dylan's card here is the Chariot reverse. Okay, so there seems to be misalignment with heart and mind about a decision that you need to make. You could also be feeling like I feel this hesitancy with something that you think that you want. Comfort zone is an illusion. So I think more than anything is you need to sit down and take a look at how much of your actions are influenced by other people's dreams, wishes, desires, and what it is that you really want for yourself. Okay? Let's see here. The Cavalion. Queen of Swords for you, gorgeous. You are that bitch. She's strong. She's determined. She's knowledgeable. You know, she leads with her mind, but she is incredibly compassionate being. She's a very understanding person. So this is just coming to be a reminder for you to be that force in your life and setting those boundaries, okay? Mama Lee 6, one card. We've got the Knight of Swords. I have this, to me, this feels like you've got, this person feels really defensive, but they're very assertive. I'm being told to tell you do have communication coming in, but it's going to be important for you to be open-minded because this feels really messy. So I don't know if this is like word vomit or you just recently got into an argument with somebody, but someone's going to come in and stand 10 toes down on something here. Just know that a part of whatever this conversation is going to be projection. So just be mindful of that. Don't take it personal. Okay, Cass, let's go ahead and take a look at what does Cass need to hear? Page of Cups reversed. Okay, this is a sad inner child. Okay, so there's some hurt feelings, there's some sadness, possibly some like emotional isolation. Go into AMA, and I want you to go to chapter 3, lesson 2, and I want you to do the love letter format. Okay? Let's do Fluffy. Let's see, what does Fluffy need to hear? What does Fluffy need to hear? Fluffy needs to hear 3 of Cups. Celebration, rejoice, community, possibly reconciliation, but I'm hearing peace and harmony for you. Okay, I did Tiff. I did Okay, did I get everybody? Okay, I think if I go show home for a week, ooh, that'll do it. Hi, everybody. A lot of mini listens. I was getting tired. Yeah, no. Celebration, rejoice, rest, excitement, good things. Okay, did I get everybody? Perfect. Oh, Lulu. I think, Lulu, you were first, but let me find out. Let's grab a card for Lulu. Lulu, your card is Knight of Swords reversed. Okay, so I'm hearing think twice before you speak. So there's something here about making sure we don't say something or do something impulsively. I'm hearing something about butterfly effect, or there's something in front of you that you may not be seeing, so we need to slow down. There's something that you need to slow down on. It's not time yet. Okay? It's not time yet. Another spiritual ass whipping. I'm sure I could serve one up for you guys. Spiritual ass whipping. Anybody? Closing messages? Let's make sure I don't have any readings that I need to do first. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, perf. Yeah, tomorrow I'll be doing paid readings. Spiritual ass whipping, or are we ready to call it a night? About my overthinking, where do I start an AMA? Fantastic question. I'm going to have you start in... I'll have you start in chapter 3, and then we'll move you back to chapter 1. Okay? So we'll get you started on your psyche, your mind, how it works, and then we'll get you back to chapter 1. Okay? Just wondering, not requesting. Anybody new join AMA that has any questions? Of course. Spiritual ass whipping, let's roll. Let me get my demons though. My angels are tired of yapping. Chapter 3. I'll get you started on chapter 3. Anxiety video. Good, I'm glad. Alright, Spirit. Let's go, boys. What messages do we have for my collective this evening? They are requesting some shadow work. Do you guys remember that scene in White Chicks? Oh, you want to talk about mamas? We got some mommy wounds coming up here. Okay. Empress reverse, 10 of wands, and the Fool coming up here upright. So when we see the Empress reverse, we start to see the controlling nature of the Empress. So we have somebody that can be a little tyrannical. We can have somebody that's a little bit of a control freak. We have someone that's a little rigid in their emotions. Now the Ten of Wands is emotional weights, it's burdens, it's stress. So what this is telling me here, especially with my demons, this is not so much about your relationship with your mother, but how much your mother has tremendously impacted you. So here I feel like the art of alchemy, transmutation is at play. So shadow work part 2. This is what the intention of shadow work part 2 is. So if you guys are not in AMA, you're going to want to get this workshop that's in my shop. If you follow the link in my bio, you'll be able to get the link to my shop to get it under classes. Shadow work part 2 is going to be necessary if you resonate with this message. That voice in your head, that incredibly critical, honestly self-deprecating voice in your head is your mother. The kind of energy that I'm getting here is that you are everything your mother wished she was. There's a lot of jealousy that's popping up here. There's a lot of anger, resentment, and jealousy. Their own emotional burdens that they projected onto you. And there's this, the more or less egregore that's been created within you of the limiting self-beliefs that you have stemmed from a lot of subconscious projections that she put on to you. Okay? But the Fool card coming up here does talk about new beginnings. So there's a way to be able to transmute this. One, let's go ahead and acknowledge that your parents did everything that they knew how to do. So we're not here to, rip our parents apart by any means. The Creator asks us to respect our parents at all times. So I'm not here to say that, you need to hate your mother. And I'm not here to say that you need to look at all of her faults. But what I am saying here is the part of your shadow work tonight is acknowledging the parts of yourself that still resonates with the projections that she put on you. Okay? Hi, baby. Good to see you. Now, the Fool card talks about, looking a new direction. Talks about a leap of faith. It's the subject of all of tarot. So when I see the Fool card, it talks about, moving away from something that is familiar and embarking on this journey towards your own enlightenment. So that's why I'm saying here is we're not here to rip our moms apart by any means, but it is for you to kind of take a look at how much of those habits of self-deprecation have you adopted for yourself. A lot of the times now, I'm not saying all of us, but what I am kind of targeting on a little bit more are single moms. Single moms, you guys had to be mom and dad, right? Now, there are a lot of circumstances where dads were present, but moms still had to supplement the role. And what that often does is it removes the ability to be able to nurture wholly because your mother had to step into her masculine energy. Now, I'm not excusing shit behavior by any means, but I'm being called to have you forgive. There's forgiveness that needs to happen here, right? Now, when you go to Shadow Work Part 2, I've actually been going over this class more recently again and helping people take a look at the workshop a little bit differently. When you go through Shadow Work Part 2, it's a very clear analysis of your observation, your present observations of the divine feminine and masculine in your life. And what this helps you do is determine what your own strengths and weaknesses are. It's right in front of your face, very clear cut, and it's very helpful because once you become consciously aware of your own habits, you can then become responsible for them. So the catch-22 here is accountability. Are you ready to be held accountable for your own actions? Because the second that you are ready is the moment that you get back into the driver's seat of your own life, is when control really is reinstated back into your core. So if you are ready to step into that position of power, if you are ready to be in the driver's seat of your own life, then Shadow Work Part 2 is going to put you there, right? If you are ready for the Ascension and Manifestation Academy, it's going to be in Chapter 3, Lesson 2, the subject Shadow Work. Okay, now the Fool card. This is about a new beginning. We're embarking on a new journey. We're leaving behind the past and we're moving forward to a more prosperous future, yes? What is coming up here as well is the Hierophant. There is these are significant milestones in your journey right now. With the Hierophant, it talks about the teacher. It's about the conscious knowing, the cause and effect. This is divine law and divine order. It talks about traditional values and belief systems and religion. So what this is telling me is that you have a very strong work ethic and moral compass. Because again, we're not here to rip on our parents by any means. But whatever it was that that your mother taught you, it has set a precedence where you're not going to take shit from no one, which is phenomenal. Now the Hierophant again talks about values and religion and traditional belief systems. With the Fool card and you embarking on this new journey, it is a requirement, no matter where you go and what you do, to have a moral compass. And that's the whole thing with the Ascension and Manifestation Academy, is to identify what your moral compass is. You know, what holds you accountable. Okay? So when no one's watching, you know, how do you behave? How do you act? How do you think? Because the universe does not listen to your words. They follow your feelings. They follow your emotions. Notice how I said they don't listen, they follow, right? So it's creating this synchronous flow with you and the universe, right? You are always in flow with the universe. You are always in flow with its movement. But what it's doing is it forces expansion, no matter what. So whichever side of the expansion spiral that you're on, be it descending or ascending, it's going to push you to its ultimate limits. So this is why it's important to have boundaries within yourself. And that's where I'm kind of getting here with the Hierophant, the traditional values and belief systems, but morals, religion, is that when we take a look at the nature of goetic demons, they are merely a lesson in the extremes of what shadows that they rule over, right? So every demon has a purpose. Every demon has a lesson. And its MO is to push you to the ultimate fucking limits until you say enough. And that's why it can be so dangerous working in the shadows, is just because it's so tempting to kind of push that boundary a little bit, right? They, you know, God talks about temptation. The universe talks about temptation. How willing, or how susceptible are you to bypassing your own boundaries? So, you know, when we talk about setting boundaries for other people, you don't set a firm boundary because you don't follow your own boundaries. You lean in on your own temptations, right? You don't keep promises to yourself. So, you know, when we talk about these limiting self-beliefs, what I've come to understand about a limiting self-belief is it's not so much that you don't believe that miracles can happen to you. It's not that you don't believe that, you know, good things can happen. The limiting self-belief is you trying to control how something comes to you. And the way that I'm going to explain this is, when you think about that desire, when you think about that thing that you want, when you think about manifesting it, limiting self-belief kicks in when you design how it comes to you. For example, money. When you think about developing wealth, where does your brain go to? Well, your 9 to 5, your business, you know, what's right in front of you. That is your limiting self-belief. That you have 1, 2, and 3 avenues to make money. That right there is a limiting self-belief. Does that make sense? When you think about love, your dream partner, all of that fun stuff. When you are engaging in a situation you know is not good for you, limiting self-belief. Let's go ahead and take a look at anything else that you need to hear. Anything else? 6 of Wands and 6 of Pents. Victory, success, charitable actions, wealth, generosity. Give me another 6. The Moon. Give me another 6. Let's close this out with another 6. I'm not going to stop till I get another 6. I want a 6. Align me. My demons have funny jokes. I said, give me another 6. You know what they gave me? A 7 reversed. All right, fine. I will stop. I'll take it. That's another... I asked for a 6. They gave me a 7 reversed. Who's wrong? Like, there's your 6. There's your 6, bitch. Okay. Now, you asked for a 6. You didn't say what kind. Alright, so... Page of Wands, Page of Swords, 3 of Wands... Adventure. Emotional connection. No longer resisting. Path of least resistance. Lord of Flies. What are you doing here? Illusion. The illusion of what? Loss. You know what? You know what fascinates me about the human mind? Is when we think about an illusion, we think about something that is like negative in nature. It has like a negative connotation, right? An illusion. Like it's not something that's, it's not real. Like it couldn't possibly happen to you, or it's just, but then we think about a hallucination, right? So like hallucinating, you know, if you're like stuck in the middle of the sand, like you're stuck in the middle of the desert and you hallucinate of an oasis or like water or something, you end up drinking sand. It's kind of like what I'm getting with this is the way that our brain is wired for survival. I shit you not. Our brain is wired to be and function in and out of survival mode. So when we think of an illusion, we think of a mirage, we think of something that we want so badly, but it's not actually there. And then, you know, we think about hallucinations. It's kind of like seeing shadows or something like that. When does our brain create the illusion of one to the other? That's like the question that I have for Spirit right now is when does our brain decide one versus the other? When does our brain decide it's an illusion versus a hallucination, something that we want versus something that we don't want? And of course, it varies based off of the situation that you're in. Of course, if you're in the middle of a desert, of course you're going to want water. But let's say you're like at home with a cozy blanket and some tea with the fire on, and you know you've got a movie playing in the background, and then boom, you hallucinate like a creepy ass shadow in the corner. Like, why does our brain do that, right? So what came up here with the moon card, it was clarified by the 5 of Pentacles. So there's this illusion, or there's this hallucination of loss. Crazy, right? And you're like, no, it's right fucking there. Well, aren't hallucinations and illusions, they feel real? So there's this illusion of loss that you're observing right now. That's weird. You guys following me? You guys following me on this? Sweet. Perf. So there is this illusion of loss, of abandonment. But why is your brain doing that? That's my big question. Why is your brain doing that right now? The Magician. More illusions. It's just an illusion. So what is crazier to practice? So pregnancy readings are one-on-one. Okay, I don't do them on live because I need your energy isolated. So if you have questions on health or pregnancy related, you will have to book a one-on-one. Okay. All right. So let's get back to this. Why is it crazier to believe to hallucinate abundance, to hallucinate or to have this illusion, to hone in on, concentrate, if you will, to create this. Why is it so much crazier to create the illusion of success than it is to observe the illusion of loss? Like, why is it so much crazier to think positive? Why is it so much crazier to focus on the good in your life versus observing the bad in your life? The answer is it's not. The real answer is that it's not. We're indoctrinated to be humble and miserable. Yeah, kinda, maybe. Sure, I'll take it. Right, but why does your brain go to bad first? Like, why does your brain observe bad first? Right. Glorified hard work and loss. Right. So but here's the thing, both are just an illusion. That's the part that I'm getting to. That's the part that I'm getting to right now. Is that both loss and success are just an illusion. Because you could have millions of dollars right now. You could have everything you want right now, and there's where you have abundance, there is loss. You can still be sad. Focusing on the bad is a protective mechanism. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. Mechanism of safety. I can see the nature. I can change it, kinda. Bad is believable. Okay, so this is what we're gonna kind of sink into a little bit more, right? So this idea of believable, your beliefs. So changing the framework of your belief system is what we're going to be working on here. So the illusion of abundance versus the illusion of loss. What do you believe about both? Because you can tell yourself over and over and over again, I'm successful, I'm abundant. You can do your EFT tapping, you can do your acupressure, you can do pulse, you can target pulse points, you can do all of the neural destimulating methods all you want, and you can tell yourself, I believe in X, Y, and Z, and I can do X, Y, and Z, and I can be X, Y, and Z, and I can have X, Y, and Z, and I can do all of these things, right? I can stimulate my nervous system to reprogram these belief systems. I can do all of these things, but the nights that are cold, the days that are long, what are your thoughts during those moments? You experience both. And that's the thing, Ash, I know you just started AMA. You're going to learn all of these things as you continue to move through the program. Getting started on the composition of your psyche is what chapter 3 is going to be about, and understanding how you were developed, how your brain developed. When you get back to chapter 1, the 7 principles is what's going to explain everything that I'm talking about right here. Exactly. The brain can't tell the difference between real and not real. So when we focus on negative, the brain is creating neural pathways that outcome. Exactly. It's all based off of your observation, what you continue to feed your energy into. Because both success and loss are just an illusion. It's just an illusion. That's what my demons are saying here. So for those of you that are still working on the question of your beliefs between abundance and loss, me ask you something. In your experience, in your life, have you ever experienced a moment where something came through last minute for you and you're like, oh, thank fuck? You've ever had one of those moments in your life? Okay, perfect. Yes. Especially in times of great turmoil. Exactly, because usually that big sigh of relief, that big energy of relief is usually because there is a drastic shift in your observations. So you're kind of going through something super challenging and then boom, something beautiful comes in right at like the beautiful moment, but it's always been there, right? It's just a transference of observation. It's just a transference of observation. It's always been there. It didn't come out of thin air. It just your observation shifted that direction. It comes at the moment when you completely surrender. It comes at the moment where your heart just says, I'm looking for a Hail fucking Mary. Brings me back to this time. I was 19. I think I was 19 or 20. I was 19 or 20. One of those two. You're looking for, yeah, because you're looking for solutions and you surrender, and that's where miracles slip in. Like I said before, in the cracks of your false sense of the cracks in the false sense of security that you have is where miracles are born, right? Brings me back to when I was about 20. I think I was 20 or 21. I forget. One of those two ages. I had been working back to back shifts because I used to work at Applebee's. I worked for Applebee's for like, I think it was, let's see here, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, for 5 years. Oof. I worked for Applebee's for 5 years. Damn. Anyways, so I had just transferred to another Applebee's, and it was a fucking shit show. It was a shit show. I had worked three back-to-back shifts, and one of them was a night to morning shift. But I remember the one shift, it was a Friday night, and I was getting my ass beat. We had a cook walk out. We had 2 servers walk out. It was me and one other person serving a Friday night. I had like 27 tabs open, and I was running, like literally running around to get everything done. And Friday nights were open until midnight, I think, at that time, if I remember correctly, like 11 or 12 at night. And oh my god, it would just, I remember being exhausted. Like at that point, I remember being exhausted. Like I was tapped, and I was just sad, and I was frustrated, and I was hurt. And I remember taking a 5-minute break, and I went outside, and I sat at the edge of the curb, and I cried. And I just looked up at the sky, and this was the first time in like years that I had looked up, and I prayed, and I said, God, I can't do this anymore. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And I was like, what did I do to get myself here? Like, how did I get here? And I remember at the time, like I had a little one. Like I had a little one that needed food, and I needed to pay rent, and I needed to take care of my baby, and it was just like I had to keep going. And I was just fucking exhausted, and I looked up and I said, I'm done. I'm fucking done. I can't do this anymore. Like, you know, I was negotiating even my existence on earth. Like I just was so tired because I was also in school. I had a newborn. I was in school and I was working, and it was just one of those nights where I was fucking tapped because I had to show up again the next morning, where I got shit on again. And I was just like, I'm fucking done. And in that moment of surrendering, the next day I was like contemplating not showing up to work, and I was like, I'm not going to be that person like that quits and someone else end up feeling the pain that I felt last night. So I went to work, and I worked that morning shift, and I remember one table, and that one table changed the entire trajectory of my life. And that's when I started getting into finance and investments and all of that fun stuff, and I was in that for 3 years, and then ended up moving to what I'm doing now. But I remember in that moment of just complete surrendering, I said, I'm out of ideas. I'm out of ideas. I'm done controlling it. I don't know what to do. I don't know what you want me to do. But for the love of all things good, I have a little one that needs me to come home. So I need you to figure it out. Like, I can't do this anymore. And that's when literally the next day, everything changed. So when I tell you that miracles are born through the cracks of your false sense of security, what I mean by this is when you think you have everything under control, you don't. And it's when you completely surrender where miracles come through. So, you get caught in the rock and the hard place of life, and you get caught in, that last minute of just needing that Hail fucking Mary. You don't know how it's going to come, when it's going to come, but you get to that edge, that moment of like, you know what, I'm going to fucking give up. Like, you know what, I'm going to throw my hands up, you deal with it. You clean up this mess. Like, I realize I fucked up. I realize I made this mess, but I can't do it anymore. Like, I can't pretend that I'm okay. Like, I can't pretend that I can't keep holding up this facade. And that's where shit moved. And I'll never fucking forget it. Never forget it. The milk story that I told you guys about, right? There's the most defeating feeling in my life as a mother was not being able to swipe my debit card for milk and eggs. Like, fucking defeating. Like, I had 2 kids in diapers in a grocery cart, having to push them back to my car to grab change to be able to go pick up eggs and milk, to just be able to take them home and feed them eggs and milk. That was it. And I told myself that moment, like, that would never fucking happen again. And it never did. Now my kids are spoiled rotten. Now my kids are spoiled fucking rotten. But I digress. As far as the magnificence of the universe and what I've learned with the universe and how I've, my practice, my own certifications, my own education that I've paid for, all of these things, it does change your brain chemistry. It really does. And everything that I've learned in the last 10 years of my dedicated practice, like 10 years, I've dedicated myself to my faith. These are the things that I've learned. And the laws of the universe helps the very analytical mind, the very skeptical mind, come to peace with surrendering. And that's all it is just kind of surrendering to the unknown. And that's what people are afraid of the most, especially when you come from a place where you don't trust anything, you don't trust anyone. And you sit here and you tell yourself, oh, I can learn this on my own. By all means, fucking do it. By all means, do it yourself. Please. I encourage you. And I would never, ever, ever argue with somebody that says that they can do it themselves. But I will tell you this, there will come a moment where you need community, because that's the era that we're in right now. Is we're in the era of humanitarianism. We're in the era of community. And the hyper independence era is done. Pluto in Capricorn is done. And now it's a matter of identifying your gifts and your skill sets and using that to help expand the community. And that's what AMA is. AMA is here to give you the foundation to understand who you are and where your place is in the universe. And it gives you plenty of fucking rabbit holes to go down, I'll tell you that. It gives you plenty of rabbit holes to continue to explore and discover the universe. But it's the community. So, I'll tell you this. If I can do it, you can do it. Now there's so many spiritualists out there that have all of the right answers, right? And I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm not saying that this is the only way to go. But what I am saying is that I am a mom of 2 boys. And my experiences are coming from a place where I had nothing. And I had to give everything that I had to my 2 kids. And my entire 20s has always been being a mother. And during my 20s, not only did I have to learn how to be a mother that didn't project her wounds, her own inner child wounds on her kids, but had to go through the consequences of making mistakes and learn from them and hold myself accountable for them and make changes for them and be everything that I am right now. Hustle culture. And that's the thing too, is that the thing is that I don't think hustle culture is necessarily coming to an end as much as hyper independence is coming to an end, and a collective assistance is coming into play, right? So the hustle culture is not going to be done by one person, it's going to be done by a group of people. But but it's, again, it's to foster the belief of work and rest. And that's what is important, is that you don't have to do it alone. That dream, that goal, that vision that you have, that you'd be willing to move mountains for, is meant for you to have, but not to do alone. And that's the beauty of the community that we have, is that we have so many diverse individuals from all over the place coming in to showcase their gifts and what they've learned and what they've implemented and all of that fun stuff. Collective organizing. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yep. The universe will put you in vulnerable places to show you the necessity of the community around you. For sure. Okay, my loves. That was your evening spanking before bed. I hope you enjoyed it. If you need anything, I will see you guys on Discord. Other than that, don't forget to drink your water. I'll see you guys inside AMA. For those of you guys that are on the fence of AMA, I am going to suggest Shadow Work Part 2. You can find in the link in my bio. It's in my shop under classes.